The following contest is an Ironman match. On the way to the ring, from Boise, Idaho, Torrie Wilson. And the opponent, from Richmond, Virginia, Mickie James.
Jim Ross here with Jerry the King Lawler, and we welcome you to Raw live tonight from Austin, Texas.
Everything's bigger in Texas, JR, and this is going to be one of the biggest Raw events ever. I can't wait.
Neither can I, King, and I know these Raw superstars can't either. They're ready to go out and show these fans why Raw is the greatest brand in sports entertainment. That went nowhere. This is Raw action at its finest. That's why Raw is the #1 brand of sports entertainment.
You got that right, JR. You're not going to see this kind of action on Smackdown.
Not on Smackdown or anywhere else. There's nothing else out there that can come close to the excitement of seeing the Raw superstars perform live. A textbook reversal there. These superstars are going to put each other through wrestling hell tonight.
They've already got a pretty good start on that, JR.
They have indeed, King. I don't think there's an ounce of quit between.
Here's the pin! Could this be it?
1, 2. This capacity crowd is solidly behind their superstar. Look at this!
Wow! Could you be any more biased, JR? How about some fair and balanced commentary? Well, from the looks of things...
Look at this! Look at this! You talk about a house of fire, you're seeing it right here!
Yeah? Well, somebody better put out that fire, or this one's not going to end well.
I tell you, King, sometimes I get exhausted just watching these superstars compete.
I know what you mean, JR. I don't think most people appreciate what incredible athletes these WWE superstars really are.
You've got to have some excellent conditions to be able to do what they do.
Well, that's the name of the game. Oh, no! This is terrible! You can't let your...
And now a pin! This could be it! Well, you can't ever... Oh, boy. The adrenaline is pumping. I think this could be the beginning of the end.
No! It can't end like this! Come on, do something, quick! What a counter!
And it's been reversed.
You gotta respect the commitment and the dedication of these superstars to their careers.
No question about it, King. Every superstar on the roster has had to make more sacrifices than any other professional athlete I know.
It really is like being married to your career. There's not much room for anything else.
And marriage is a subject which you happen to be something of an authority. Isn't that right, King?
Come on now, JR. A man doesn't know what true happiness is until he's married. And then it's too late.
I tell you, King, I've got no earthly idea how these superstars can maintain this intensity week after week after week.
It's not easy, JR. There's no off-season. It's not like you've got 6 months to recover after WrestleMania.
That's for damn sure. And that's why I don't think there can be any doubt in anyone's mind that the superstars of the WWE are the greatest athletes in the world. And here's the pin. 1, 2.
Oh, boy. These fans have got something on their minds, JR.
Well, they paid for their tickets, King, and they've got a right to say whatever they want.
You can look at any professional sport you want, JR, and you won't find more incredible athletes than the WWE superstars.
You're not wrong, King. They compete every week until they are physically incapable of continuing. There's no off-season in the WWE.
We're not talking about running a ball down a field or slapping a puck into a net. This is serious physical competition.
It sure is. The toughest athletes in the world are on the WWE roster, and that's a fact. These fans can't get enough of Torrie Wilson, and neither can I.
Everywhere Torrie goes, she wins them over with that beautiful smile of hers.
Wait a minute. You're looking at her smile? What?
There's the pin!
1, 2, 3.
This has gone beyond just being a match, JR. I think these superstars genuinely hate each other.
There's no love lost between these competitors, that's for sure. If looks could kill, somebody would be pushing up daisies right now.
And you've got to admit, that makes for a much more interesting match, JR.
It sure does. But I just hope these superstars can settle their differences in the ring and leave it at that.
I'll tell you what, that Torrie Wilson is one sweet little tomato.
You call her that because your face gets all red whenever you see her?
My face only gets red when I'm trying to keep myself from throttling you whenever you say something stupid. Which, by the way, is pretty awful. Man, is there even going to be anything left of these superstars by the time they're done?
Not if they have their way, King. Everything they came in here with tonight is going to be left in that ring, mark my words.
I hope these fans appreciate it, JR. These superstars are putting it all on the line for them right here tonight. I don't think these superstars have any intention of taking it easy on each other tonight.
That's not what they signed up for, King. And quite frankly, I think these fans would be disappointed if they didn't go all out.
Well, that's easy for the fans to say. They've never set foot inside that ring.
No, but they spend their hard-earned dollars to watch what goes on inside it. And without...
Flat on your back with your shoulders on the mat is no place to be.
A lot of blood, sweat, and tears have been shed in that very ring.
And I think there's going to be a lot more shed here tonight.
No doubt about that, King. These superstars are going to leave it all in the ring. You can count on that. These superstars are in perfect shape, and that comes as no surprise whatsoever.
No kidding. If you don't have that conditioning, you're not going to last long in a match.
You sure aren't. And that's only one of the many reasons I try to stay out of the ring whenever possible.
These superstars are beating the heck out of each other, and this crowd can't get enough of it.
It's what they paid to see, King, and they're getting their money's worth tonight.
They sure are, JR. There's no question these superstars are earning their paychecks.
What a reversal.
If any superstar shows the slightest hint of weakness, they've lost the match.
That's for sure. No matter how beat up you are, you can't ever let your opponent know the extent of your injuries.
And that's easier said than done, JR. The human body can only absorb so much punishment. After some of the things we've seen in this ring, JR. Oh, boy. This is getting nasty, JR.
That's for sure, King. These superstars will stop at nothing to obliterate each other right here tonight. Are you seeing what I'm seeing, King? Looks like turnabout is fair play. Torrie Wilson, of course. This could be a pinfall.
They sure are, JR, and I love to hear it. I feel like the luckiest guy in the world, JR. I can't believe I actually get paid to do this job.
Well, don't let Mr. McMahon hear you say that, King, or you might wind up having to do it for free.
That's true. I don't want to say that Mr. McMahon's cheap, JR, but I heard he won't even tip a canoe. You think these fans have gotten their money's worth? We could have a pinfall here, JR.
1, 2. Boy, what a match. I wouldn't even hazard a guess as to who's going to win this thing.
What? You got both your contacts in one eye, JR? It's been obvious to me since the start of the match.
Oh, really? Well then, why don't you just enlighten the rest of us, King?
No way! I can already tell this is going to be a great match, and I don't want to ruin the ending for you.
You're too kind, King. You're also full of horse manure, as far as I can tell.
So, how do you think this one's going to turn out, JR?
Honestly, King, I have absolutely no idea. Anything can happen here in the WWE.
But you've got to have a guess, right?
I might, but I'd rather keep it to myself if it's all the same to you, King. Sounds like this crowd's got something on their minds, King.
Who cares about them, JR? What's going on in the ring?
I'll be honest with you, King. This is not the way I thought this match would go at all.
Me neither, JR. I guess that just goes to show that anything can happen in the WWE.
I think you hit the nail right on the head, King. And it's that unpredictability that makes it so exciting.
Can you believe we actually get paid to do this job, JR?
It's like a dream come true, King. Except when I have to sit here and listen to you drool over the divas.
Come on, JR. You know I'm helpless when it comes to puppies.
Oh, I know, King. And that's why I'm bringing a pitcher of ice water out here with me next time.
Boy, I'll tell you, that Torrie Wilson is one hot mamacita.
Well, I'm glad to see those Spanish lessons are really paying off for you there, Kingfish.
The intensity of these superstars is unbelievable.
No doubt about that, King. The fans are getting their money's worth here tonight. I've got a feeling that this has all the makings of an instant classic.
That's probably just gas, JR.
Well, I did have some good old Oklahoma barbecue before tonight's show. I don't think that's it, King. We could be looking at a pinfall here, folks. 2.
I think it's pretty obvious which way this one's going to go, JR.
Well, from my perspective, this is still anybody's match.
I'd like to see things from your perspective, JR, but I'd have to get my head out of my rear end first.
And Lord knows it's been up there for so long that that would be no easy feat.
Oh, Torrie Wilson looks as lovely as ever, as if that's a surprise.
Looking at bodacious Torrie Wilson reminds me of something an old buddy of mine used to say. She's got legs all the way up to her.
All right. Simmer down there, partner.
Are you blushing? Look at you. You're blushing. I'll tell you what, King. The WWE superstars are about the greatest athletes you'll find in any sport, period.
What do you mean, just about, JR? Can you actually... I don't care how you feel about this superstar, JR. Nobody should have to go through this.
It's painful just watching it, King.
think these superstars have a legitimate beef with each other, JR.
So do I, King. I'm not so sure their issues with each other are going to be solved with one match.
I hope not. I'd love to see them go at it again and again. Did you ever think you'd be watching these superstars compete against each other here tonight, JR?
I had a feeling their paths were going to cross sooner or later, and I'm glad I'm here to see it.
Me too. It almost makes it worth having to sit next to you and listen to those corny expressions of yours. What the heck is a government mule anyway?
It's what you get beat like when you're in the middle of a slobber knocker. And if you don't have the guts to stick around, you might run like a scalded dog in a case of the liver tape.
All right, enough! I'm getting a translator before I have to come out here with you again.
Two.
I think these superstars are getting some feedback from the crowd, JR.
Nothing wrong with that, King. That's what we like to hear.
I can't remember the last time I saw superstars this fired up. I don't think they've even considered the possibility that they might not win this thing.
There's an awful lot of pride on the line here, King. No one in that ring wants to have to go back to the locker room as a loser. You've got to ask yourself, how much punishment will these superstars be able to withstand tonight?
I don't know, JR, but I think they're pretty intent on finding out.
They certainly are. I don't know how it's going to end, but I can guarantee you they're going to leave it all in the ring. What an incredible performance by these phenomenal superstars.
Did you expect anything less, JR? I mean, look who's in the ring right now.
No, I didn't, King. I had high expectations, and I'm happy to say that this match has exceeded them all. I'm not so sure this one's about winning or losing anymore. I think it's become more personal than that.
Here's the cover, JR.
1, 2.
I thought I'd pick the winner before the match started, JR, but now I'm having second thoughts.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, King. Usually I wonder if you've even had first thoughts.
I wonder how long these superstars will be able to keep this up.
They'll go as long as they need to, King. And if they can't, they won't be having their arms raised at the match. That's for damn sure.
I feel so lucky that I'm actually getting to see these superstars wrestle each other.
Me too, King. This one has the potential to become an instant classic.
It's matches like this that make this the greatest job in the world, JR.
And there's the cover. 1, 2.
I don't think that these superstars have even contemplated the fact that they might lose.
I'm sure they haven't. That's not the kind of attitude you come in with and expect to pick up the win.
You're right about that, JR. If you can't see yourself having your arm raised by the referee when it's over, don't bother showing up. I talked to these superstars backstage before the match, and I don't think I've ever seen competitors so ready to get it on.
And that's coming through loud and clear here tonight in this match. They're not taking it easy on each other either.
It's been said a million times, but I'll say it again. This isn't ballet. Ruthless aggression is the name of the game. I could watch these superstars go at it all night, JR.
So could I, King, but all good things must come to an end. Let's just hope it just doesn't end too soon.
I tell you, JR, this one has the potential to be a Match of the Year candidate.
No doubt about it, King. As far as I'm concerned, any WWE match has that potential. Everyone on the roster is an accomplished wrestler.
These superstars are at the top of their game, JR. They make it look so easy.
They sure do. you almost forget about the years of training and sacrifice that went into their careers.
I can't even imagine what these superstars will put each other through.
I don't think you'll have to use much imagination, King. I think they intend to show you right here tonight.
Oh boy, you might want to close your eyes, JR. This one could get ugly.
You're damn right it could. It could get bowling shoe ugly. And that's what this business is all about. It's not ballet, you know. I'm sure these competitors have studied each other very carefully.
This match would be over by now if they hadn't, JR. You never get into the ring without doing your homework.
That would be a recipe for disaster for sure, King.
I don't think there's going to be anything left of these superstars by the time they're done.
There may not be, King. They may well annihilate each other here tonight.
Remind me to never try and step between these guys, JR.
That would be hazardous to your health for sure, King.
Boy, these superstars sure have their hands full here tonight, JR.
They sure do, King. They've got all they can say grace over. I think this crowd's giving these superstars...
Here's your winner, Mickie James.